Hi, I'm Ayo, and I'll be your graphic design tutor for today's session. In this class, we'll be diving into an introduction to Adobe Photoshop.
Good day, everyone. It's good to be back to class today. Just like we mentioned in our last video, we talked about graphic design. I introduced you guys to what graphic design is all about, and that was just a summary of the classes. So today we will be diving more into graphic design, and today we'll be working on one of the design that is on the screen. So we are going to pick this design to Photoshop that will be anchoring today. So today, this is the design on Photoshop. This was the design brief. The design brief is an information about the design. The design is a billboard advert design, and we have to use this design. We have to follow the brand name, the copy, the subheading, the color code, and the CTA, which is the call to action. So I'll be taking us through how to get this design done. So this is the design that we want to do. So I already created another artboard here so that we can start this design from scratch without having to like copy anything from here. We want to duplicate exactly what is on this artboard to what is here. And I'm going to show you step by step process on how to achieve that. Our classes is going to take a very full range of introducing you guys to these tools and the menu bar. Just like we can see my mouse, this is the menu bar. This is the menu bar in Photoshop. This is the toolbar, and these are called the other bar in a right bar. The way Photoshop works is you can randomly customize your Photoshop interface the way you like. You can customize them under window, under workspace. There's different types of workspace. Now I'm using essential default, even though this default I've already changed some of those things there for my use. So we have photography, we have motion. We can reset the essentials. So if we reset it, it's going to like bring us to another new thing entirely. Diving into the design process now. First and foremost, what is an artboard? An artboard is the space where a design is being created. This design Photoshop environment has a lot of things in this environment, but I want to specifically work on this artboard that I've selected. This artboard one, I can go and rename the artboard under my layer file. All these layer file, all these toolbars, all these menu bars are what I'm going to introduce you to personally in our advanced classes. This is just like an overview of what you can do. And one of those things that you get from attending the classes that I will be taking is that you will learn how to do design that are good, design that are followed all design principles from scratch. You will start by doing bad design, but you will start by replicating good designs that has been done by professionals out there. That's some of those things that we offered in our classes that most designers that are learning out there might not get everywhere. So this is the artboard. As you can see, the only thing on this, I can hide this artboard. I don't want us to see it again, and I can also bring it back. So the only thing on this artboard is just the background, which is locked. The layer, Photoshop works with layer, just like I've explained in our last classes that Photoshop works with raster images. Now I want to start this design afresh. I think the first thing I will be bringing up, if you look at the design that is here, is this artboard has a background, and the design brief gave us a specific color for us to use. So now I want to add a background to this artboard that is here. I can go to my rectangular tools. I can use different tools. I can use rectangle, I can use solid color. These are some of those things I'll be showing you, but we don't have the time in this class today, so I won't be showing everyone. So I can go to my artboard tools and add add a gradient to the shape, which is the rectangle shape. So but the gradient that is here is linear. So I'm going to change it to radial. So then I'm going to change the color according to what is here. So I can go back here and I want to use the color that is there. So I go back into my tools. I just want to show us a quick overview of how I did this. So this is not like an advanced class or not. This is just like for you to see what we are going to be doing in our classes. And I think from now on, most of the classes will be it will be it will be premium, meaning that classes will be aired online. The videos might not be posted like these ones are being posted. So now I've selected my color. You can see what I've been able to achieve. I've been able to get exactly the same background. Then we have these resources, which is a PNG ice cream that I've downloaded. So this is just an ice cream I downloaded. I've moved it here. Our design is coming up little by little. Then we have like a toast. We have like an ice cream shop behind this ice cream. So how are we going to apply it and how are we going to do it? So this is the image that we use. So but as you can see that when I move this picture on this design file, it is practically on the ice cream design. So how do I fix this problem? I just need to come to my layer tools and drag the ice cream design up, and I can hide it since I want to work on this now. I make sure that it is centralized by using my alignment tools, just like I've explained to you about alignment. We can see the logo that is here. So this is the logo. We can also move it. You can drag the logo inside your Photoshop file, but I've already moved everything now. So I'm putting it in the middle. I'm aligning it to the middle because this design followed a centralized design system. So now I I have a rectangular tool here. It's a rectangle tool because there's a way I manipulated it that it's like that. So I can come here and draw my rectangle tools. So I've successfully drawn my rectangle tools. So when I draw my rectangle tools, I can make sure it's on the same line as that. Then there was something that happened in that rectangle tools. It has properties. So under the properties, it has two curved edges. So I want to like make the edges curve. That one is too small. I can maybe extend it to something like 400 here, and the other side is 400. So now I think I'm close. Let me go to 450. Okay. Let me check if this will be 450 too. Okay, now it's 447, 447. So now I've had this, but there's something about this my rectangle that is here, because immediately the rectangle is on the image, but I want the image to be inside the rectangle. How do I fix this? I come to my layer tools, I move the rectangle under the image, and I power clip the image inside the rectangle. Now we are having something close to what we have on our design file. But if we can look at what is here, if we bring back the ice cream design, we can see that we are close, but we are not there yet. So what is lacking? What are we missing here? The rectangle that is there is glowing, one, and also it has a stroke. So the first thing I'm going to do is to add a stroke to it. And I come under my properties, I add a white stroke to it. The white stroke is not showing very well because it's very small. I can increase it to 10. The 10 is not enough. I can start increasing it until I get exactly what I want. Or I think this is too much. Yeah, I think this is closer to what we have there. So let's just come here and use numbers. Let's use it as 20. So I think this is perfect. Then these have some properties. It has inner glow, it has outer glow. Then I go to under my blending options. All this, the way to navigate all these things I'm going to take us in our classes. I'm just trying to show us this is just for general students. This is not for my students. My students are going to learn more and know how to do this. I have inner glow. So that's the first thing I'm adding. My inner glow will be white. My inner glow will be white. It's not that normal. Then I also have outer glow. So under here, I move to my outer glow. I make it white also. I increase the opacity, and I might increase this. Okay. I might increase the size a bit. I might add a bit of noise to it. So I'm able to achieve that by this. And I can also copy layer style. These are just so I can have exactly the same thing I had there. So now we are getting closer to it. But if you look at this ice cream is having a shadow. The shadow does not just automatically be there. This is why you are a designer. You bring all these things here by perspective, by looking at the design like, okay, the shadow is coming like this. How are you going to achieve this? I achieve the shadow by just simply duplicating the ice cream layer. So this is the ice cream. We have two ice cream layer here already. I've duplicated them. Then I can rotate 180 degree, which makes the ice cream is coming exactly like this. I can also rotate horizontally so that I can have exactly the same shadow of ice cream, the same thing. Just like we can see what is here, it is not really showing, so I reduce the opacity. So we can see it is slightly there. Then I can duplicate the same one there because I have other shadow of the ice cream coming from here. So how do I achieve that? It's just also duplicating that ice cream layer and dragging it to this side. And then going to the ice cream layer, and I'm going to add a color overlay which is going to be black. But just like we can see the shadow that is here, the shadow is blur. So I go to my filter, I add Gaussian blur to it. Go to my filter, I go to Gaussian blur, and I determine the amount of blur level I want to use. I think this is perfect. So I can come here and add layer mask and also use my layer mask. Can use my brush tools. Can use I can add layer mask. Another my layer mask, I reduce the opacity of my brush tools to blend. Do you know why we are blending? The reason why we are blending is when you are designing, you want it to be realistic. You don't want your design to just look like something that doesn't really feel real. So and that was why you must be careful when you are designing. You must be able to achieve a design that looks realistic. So that is what you are trying to achieve. So first and foremost, we added that shadow there, and we also added something special here, that there was like a bouncing shadow first. You know, as a graphic designer, one of the tools that you one of the thing gift that you give yourself is to keep attention to details. So just like we said, attention to details is very important. You might not be seeing it, but I can see it clearly. There's a bouncing shadow here. So how do you achieve this thing? So how do I achieve that bouncing shadow? I've added the shadow, but it's not just like that. I'm going to make it like this. So now I'm going to drag it down. It's too big. I'm going to come here and make it smaller. Now I can still reduce the opacity. So can we see? Now we are giving our design that realistic because there's a light coming from this window. So that light is the one that has given those band that shadow and this. Okay, it is not there already, but it is close. So let's still work on it. That's why as a graphic designer you must learn to be patient. You must learn to put attention to details. So you must zoom in your work. You must make sure that your work is more realistic. Your work is not just opaque. Your work is not funny. You must look at what you've done and you are proud. You pay attention to every details. So now we can see that we are close to having the ice cream in the shadow. So now let's move to the test. So now we can move everything that is here a bit down so that we can have space for the test. Then we have this home of tasty and delightful cream. And copy the test and copy the test. All right, so this thing is actually not selecting the font because I copied it exactly. So there's different way where you can change fonts. So assuming maybe the font that it gave us was different from this. Maybe the font it gave us was this. So I will go to the text tools here. From the text tools, I can change the font to anything I like. But right now we'll just maintain this. Then we can see that this is having white, is a white text, but it's having both orange and white, and it's having both pink and white stroke. How do we achieve this? We come to our stroke, we are adding two stroke. So let's say the first stroke we are having is the pink. Let's say we use the eyedropper to select our paint group from there. Then we increase the size. All right, we can make this white. Then we can come to this other one that is black and make it the pink. And we can increase the opacity. Okay, so that we can exactly be sure, we can just come here and check the details. We're having 19 and 50. All right. All right, so we come to our blending options. We come to our stroke. We have 20, 50 pixel here. We have 19 and have 20 here. So we can see that we are having exactly the same thing. But there's a difference. That's why as a graphic designer, I think there's a difference between these two designs. The text here is curved, while the text here is what? Is straight. So how do we achieve that? We go to our text tools, shortcut by pressing Ctrl T. Then there's like a curve option here. We come to this arc. Then we, according to what we want to achieve, make sure it's not too much, just like that one. So I think this 18 is okay. You can also check what they have here. Okay, they have 12. So I use 12 then. So now let's go back to 12 and use 12. All right. So that's perfect. So we remember alignment. You make sure it is centered aligned. Then if you can look at the text and the spaces, I think it's taking more space. So we can come here and reduce our images. Make sure that we don't select the ice cream on the background and reduce our image. We can adjust this and make this smaller. And make this smaller. Then we also have explore different flavor text. We can copy and use that too. Because of our time, we're going to do it into details in classes. We don't have the time, so that people that want to learn, they can be the one to enjoy all the options that we have. Then we have the order now, which is like another rectangle. It's a pink rectangle. We draw it here, but you can see that the rectangle color is black. We can select the pink color. We can make under the property tool. We can make the edges curved. Then we can put in the order now. Order now. And put our order now here. This is just me trying to show you how you can do this design. It's very simple. It looks simple. The only reason why the design looks simple is because it follows the principles of design. It follows the rules of design. So these are some of those things that will give you leverage when you join our classes, because it is not just about knowing how to design or knowing how to use the tools alone. It is about using it the right way and making the tools work for you, making it easier for you. So this is our design. We've actually do, done this. Can we see that the design is very close? So we can export our design, can export as JPEG, can export as JPEG or PNG. So I'm going to tell us the difference in our classes. So now we're exporting this as JPEG. So this is the design. We're going to export it. All right, thank you very much, guys. This is our design. It looks so amazing. It looks so sweet, and you can check this design without wanting to crave for an ice cream. This this is what you get when you apply your design into a mock-up. So this is a mock-up I use the design for. And I guess you can't be going on the street and you see this kind of posters that you won't be, your attention won't be called. Your attention will definitely be on this flyer because it's looking well arranged, it's looking nice. It wants you to crave more for ice cream. This is what you get when you do a very for your time, and I'll be telling you we'll be doing more. We'll practically be touching most of this design here and how we achieve them. So in the course of our classes, so in case you are interested in the classes and you want to join us, please kindly contact me via this WhatsApp number to learn more in our classes. The classes are not free, of course. The classes are not free. For you to make inquiries on the classes and how our classes is going to, we are going to have an online classes, and in the long run of things, we are going to also fix physical classes. So, but we will start with online classes. Some of the details, the pricing, and everything, you can learn more by contacting me on this WhatsApp number. Thank you very much, everyone. See you in class.